Hi, this is the PIM Trader. Let's review what happened in the crypto market this week. Per usual, we will review the top 10 cryptos according to CoinMarketCap, excluding the stablecoins. Let's start with Bitcoin. So last week we mentioned that Bitcoin got above the downward trend line and was trying to stay above the 50-day moving average. This week it has stayed above the downward trend line, which is good. The price is moving sideways and has stayed above the 50-day moving average for 3 days now. We want to see the price stay sideways or to start moving upward. This allows the 50-day moving average to give it time to start flattening out and potentially start curving up, which is what we want to see. The price is still below the 200-day moving average, but it has been sloping upward. A sloping upward moving average for the 200-day suggests that there is still strength long term. Other than the price staying above the 50-day moving average, the next thing we want to see is the price get above the 200-day average or the previous low line, which is around $89,163. More than likely, the price will get above the previous low line before it gets above the 200-day moving average, because it seems that the 200-day moving average will intersect and exceed the previous low line based on the current trajectory. So far, Bitcoin has maintained its changing character. It has been beside a trading range. The trading range started on Friday, February 28th, 2025, and bounced off of it in March 10th and 11th, and it undercut it a bit during the market sell-off, but recovered within 3 days and has stayed above it. This sideways price action is what we want to see, because the longer it moves sideways, the greater likelihood that we will see a jump in price. Next on the list is Ethereum. Ethereum still continues its downward price action. It has not gotten close to the downward trend line. It has not gotten close to the 50-day moving average, but it looks like the 50-day moving average is starting to slope downward and may intersect. That's assuming the Ethereum price goes sideways. It is possible that the price will continue going downward and the 50-day moving average will still be a ways away. And we see the 200-day moving average starting to slope downward, which is not a good sign. Until we see a character change, Ethereum is still an avoid. Next on the list is XRP. XRP still continues its downward trend. It has not reached the downward trend line yet. Fortunately, the 50-day moving average looks like it's starting to flat out. It could be a bump in the road like it was in late March, where it looked like it was going to start flattening out, but then it fell down again. It's still too early to tell where XRP is trying to move. It has been holding the 200-day moving average, which the line continues still sloping upward. If the price stays above the 200-day moving average and the line continues its trajectory, we should see the 200-day moving average and the downward trend line intersect in mid-May. And if the price can hold the 200-day and stay above it, this will give market time to determine whether it wants to move upward or downward sometime in mid-May. If we see the price fall below and stay below, we should be concerned. Number 5 is BNB. BNB has been finding resistance at the downward trend line. It keeps getting to it and bounces down, keeps getting to it and bounces down. It did try to stay above for a few days in late March, but then fell down and has since then continued to find resistance there. And it has continued to find resistance since then and has stayed under it. Now the price is starting to track the 50-day moving average a little more closely. The general trend of the 50-day is still sloping downward. At the current rate, it's possible the 50-day moving average line will get above the downward trend line, making it a little more difficult for the price to try to get above it. The price is still below the 200-day also. The 200-day is relatively flat. We want to see the price get above the downward trend line, the 50-day moving average, and we want to see the 200-day stay flat. Next on the list is Solana. Solana has been going sideways since early March. It has now gotten above the 50-day moving average. It has been above the downward trend line since late March. The 50-day moving average line is starting to flatten out. Like we mentioned, the sideways moving action is a good sign. It would be nice to see the price go sideways for a little longer, giving the 50-day moving average time to flatten out. The price is still significantly below the 200-day moving average. When the price starts moving upward and it gets above the aggressive buy zone, which is the low before the peak in mid-January, then we should see a move upward. The longer the price stays above the 50-day moving average, the more strength it will have. This one is worth keeping an eye on. Number 8 is Doge. Dogecoin continues to be significantly below the downward trend line. It is getting close to the 50-day moving average line, which is still pointing downward. It's not quite going sideways. It looks like it is, but not as obvious. It is a very narrow trading range if we were to draw a trading range. So if we were to draw the trading range of the peak in March 26th and the low on March 11th, we can see the price stay inside that trading range, giving the 50-day a chance to flatten out. Then we might see different behavior in Dogecoin. But as of right now, it's still in a downtrend. The next on the list is Tron. Tron has been in a very nice trading range since the 4th of January. The trading range has been tracking the 50-day moving average line, which has flattened out. That's a good sign. We've set the buy zone to the peak of January 4th. The price has also stayed above and it bounced off it a couple times, but it has never gone below the 200-day moving average line. So not only is the price within a trading range based on price, it's also in a trading range based on the 50-day and 200-day moving averages. What I'm hoping to see is a trading range of the price going sideways longer and then have a big move up into the buy zone. The last one on the list is Cardano. The price of Cardano is still in a downtrend. It is below the downward trend line. It is below the 50-day moving average and is below the 200-day moving average. We want to see the price get above either one of those moving averages. Since the 50-day is lower than the 200-day, we want to see the price get above the 200-day moving average, stay above it for a while, let the 50-day flatten out, and then maybe we'll see a character change. And that's it for this week. This is the Pim Trader.